Whatever you do it 100%. These words might seem simple, but they carry a profound truth that can transform your life. I'm not talking about perfection or burning yourself out. I'm talking about giving your all to what truly matters. This principle aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy and ancient wisdom more relevant today than ever. Imagine you're at a crossroads in your life. Maybe you're stuck in a job you hate, struggling in a relationship, or facing an impossible challenge. You have two choices. You can half-heartedly go through the motions, or you can commit yourself fully to addressing the situation. The Stoics would argue that the latter is preferable and essential for a life well lived. But why should we give 100% in a world that often seems indifferent to our efforts? To answer this, let's take a journey through the lens of Stoicism and explore how this ancient philosophy can guide us in modern times. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or enduring hardship with a stiff upper lip. It's about understanding what's within our control and what isn't, and acting with virtue and reason in facing life's challenges. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from external circumstances, but from our actions and attitudes. Now think about the last time you gave something your all. It could be a project at work, a personal goal, or even just making dinner for your family. How did it feel? There's a unique satisfaction in knowing you've done your absolute best. Regardless of the outcome, this satisfaction is what the Stoics would call living by virtue. But let's be honest, giving 100% isn't always easy. We live in a world of distractions, where it's tempting to spread ourselves thin or take the path of least resistance. So why bother? Because when we commit fully to something, we tap into a wellspring of inner strength and resilience. Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl describes how he found purpose and maintained his humanity in the most horrific circumstances imaginable. He didn't just survive. He gave 100% to helping others and maintaining his dignity. This is the power of full commitment. It can sustain us even in our darkest hours. Now you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but I'm not facing anything that extreme. And you're right, most of us aren't. But the principle applies just as much to our everyday challenges. Whether you're trying to advance in your career, improve your relationships, or simply become a better version of yourself, giving 100% can make all the difference. Let's break this down into practical terms. Say you're in a job you don't particularly like. You have two options. You can do the bare minimum to get by, or you can give it your all. The first option might seem easier in the short term, but comes with a hidden cost. You're not just underperforming at work. You're reinforcing a habit of half-hearted effort that can seep into other areas of your life. On the other hand, if you commit to giving 100%, something interesting happens. You might not suddenly fall in love with your job, but you'll likely find aspects of it that you can improve or excel at. This not only makes your daily experience more engaging, but it also opens up new opportunities. Your increased effort leads to a promotion or gives you the confidence to seek a job that aligns with your passions. The same principle applies to relationships. How many of us go through the motions? In our interactions with loved ones, we nod along during conversations while our minds are elsewhere. We make promises we don't fully intend to keep. We avoid difficult conversations because they're well tricky. But imagine if you gave 100% to your relationships. What would that look like? It means being fully present with someone, listening to understand rather than waiting for your turn to speak. It might mean following through on your commitments, even when it's inconvenient. It might mean having those tough conversations and approaching them with honesty and compassion. The results can be transformative. Relationships deepen, trust grows. You create a support network that can sustain you through life's ups and downs. The Stoics meant this when they talked about living in harmony with others, not just coexisting, but genuinely connecting. Now let's talk about personal development. We all have dreams and aspirations. But how often do we give 100% to achieving them? It's easy to make excuses. I'm too busy, I'm not talented enough. It's too late to start. These are the voices of fear and complacency and the enemies of growth. The Stoics would argue that these external factors, time, talent, circumstances, are largely outside our control. Our effort, attitude, and commitment to improvement are in our control. So if you want to learn a new skill, write a book, start a business, or whatever your personal goal might be, the question isn't the question is, am I willing to give 100%? This means you'll need more time to achieve your goals. It doesn't even guarantee you'll achieve them at all. But by giving 100%, you ensure that you're making the most of your potential. You're living up to your standards. Not anyone else's. Think about it this way. Success isn't just the result. It's about who you become in the process of pursuing your goals. When you give 100%, you develop discipline, resilience, and self-respect. These qualities serve you well and no matter what life throws your way. But let's address the elephant in the room. Giving 100% can be scary. It means putting yourself out there, risking failure and facing your fears head-on. It's much safer to hold back, to always have the excuse of, well, I didn't try my hardest. This is where the Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate, comes in handy. The ideas aren't just to accept whatever happens, but to embrace it as if it were exactly what you wanted. This doesn't mean being passive. It means giving your all and accepting the results with grace and composure. Imagine approaching a challenge, a job interview, a difficult conversation, or a personal goal with this mindset. You prepare thoroughly, give it your absolute best effort, and then you let go. You've done what you can, whatever the outcome. You've acted with integrity and in alignment with your values. This attitude frees you from the paralysis of perfectionism. You're not giving 100% because you're guaranteed a specific outcome. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. After all, it's how you want to live your life. I can almost hear some of you thinking, but what about burnout? Isn't giving 100% all the time exhausting? It's a valid concern and brings us to an important distinction. Giving 100% doesn't mean working yourself to the bone or neglecting other aspects of your life. It means being fully present and committed to what you're doing. Think about it like this: when you're at work, you give 100% to your tasks. When you're with your family, you give 100% of your attention to them. When you're exercising, you put 100% effort into your workout. It's not about constant frenzied activity. It's about quality of engagement. This approach helps prevent burnout. When you're fully engaged in what you're doing, you're more efficient, you make fewer mistakes, you find more satisfaction in your actions. All of this adds up to less stress and more fulfillment. But let's be honest, giving 100% isn't always easy. Life throws curveballs, we face setbacks, disappointments, and sometimes outright failure. How do we maintain our commitment in the face of adversity? This is where the Stoic practice of negative visualization comes in handy. It might sound pessimistic, but bear with me. The idea is to imagine losing what you value regularly, your job, health, and relationships. Not to make yourself miserable, but to appreciate what you have more deeply. When you do this, two things happen. First, you become more grateful for what you have right now. Second, you become more resilient. When faced with actual setbacks, you've already imagined the worst, so you're better prepared to handle whatever comes your way. Let's say you're working hard on a project at work, you're giving it your all. But despite your best efforts, it doesn't turn out as well as you hoped. At that moment, you have a choice. You can get discouraged and pull back, or view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. The Stoic approach would ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve? This doesn't mean you don't feel disappointed. It means you don't let that disappointment define you or deter you from continuing to give your best effort. Remember, giving 100% isn't about the outcome. It's about the process. It's about who you become when you commit fully to something each time you give your all. You're building character, you're becoming more resilient, more capable, more true to yourself. Now let's talk about how this principle applies in different areas of life. We've touched on work and relationships. But what about personal development? This is an area where giving 100% can have truly transformative effects. You may come from a background where resources were limited. You didn't have the best education or the most supportive environment. It's easy to use these circumstances as excuses. I can't succeed because I didn't have the same advantages as others. But here's the thing. While we can't control the circumstances we're born into, we can control how we respond to them. Giving 100% means making the most of whatever resources you have. It means being willing to work harder, learn more, and push yourself further than others might expect. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Many of them came from humble beginnings. What set them apart wasn't their initial circumstances. It was their willingness to give 100% to their goals and dreams. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, she faced numerous challenges early in life. But she didn't let her circumstances define her. She gave 100% to her education, early jobs in media, and every opportunity that came her way. The result, she became one of the most influential and successful people in the world. I'm not saying that if you give 100%, you'll become the next Oprah. But I am saying that when you commit fully to your growth and development, you open up possibilities you might never have imagined. This applies to learning new skills, pursuing education, starting a business, or any other personal goal. When you give 100%, you're not just working towards an external goal. You're developing qualities like perseverance, creativity, and self-discipline that will serve you well in all areas of life. Let's shift gears and discuss how this principle applies to our relationships. In our fast-paced, often digital world, letting our connections with others become superficial is easy. We might have hundreds of friends on social media, but how many of those relationships are truly meaningful? Giving 100% in relationships means being fully present, means listening when someone is talking to you, not just waiting for your speech. It means following through on your commitments, even when it's inconvenient. It means being willing to have difficult conversations, to work through conflicts rather than avoiding them. Think about your closest relationships with your partner, family and best friends. What would it look like to give 100% to these relationships? Maybe it means putting away your phone during dinner and engaging in conversation. Perhaps it means going out of your way to support a friend who's going through a tough time. Maybe it means being vulnerable and honest about your struggles, rather than always trying to present a perfect image. When you give 100% to your relationships, you create more profound, more meaningful connections. You build a support network that can sustain you through life's ups and downs, and you experience the profound satisfaction that comes from truly connecting with others. Now let's talk about one of the most challenging areas to apply this principle facing adversity. Life isn't always smooth sailing. We all face difficulties, setbacks, and sometimes even tragedies. In these moments, giving up, retreating, or giving less than our best can be tempting because we're hurt or afraid. But it's precisely in these moments that giving 100% becomes most important when you're facing a challenge. Whether it's a health issue, a financial setback, the loss of a loved one, or any other difficulty, giving 100% means fully engaging with the reality of your situation. This doesn't mean you have to be happy about what's happening. It doesn't mean you can't feel sad, angry, or scared. What it means is that you bring your full self to the situation. You face it head-on with all the courage and resilience you can muster. Sometimes giving 100% in the face of adversity means seeking help. It means being vulnerable enough to reach out to others, to admit when you're struggling. This isn't weakness, it's strength. It takes courage to ask for support when you need it. Other times, giving 100% in adversity means taking action, even when you don't feel like it. If you've lost your job, it means putting full effort into your job search, even when you feel discouraged. If you're dealing with a health issue, it means following your treatment plan diligently. and doing everything possible to support your recovery. And sometimes giving 100% means allowing yourself to fully feel and process your emotions, rather than trying to numb or push them away. This is especially true when dealing with grief or trauma. Giving 100% means being willing to go through the difficult healing process, even when it's painful. The Stoics had a saying, "The obstacle is the way." They meant that our challenges aren't just barriers to overcome, they're growth opportunities. When you give 100% in the face of adversity, you're not just solving a problem, you're building resilience, developing wisdom, and becoming a more robust version of yourself. Now, I want to address a common misconception about giving 100%. Some people think it means being perfect, never making mistakes, always achieving your goals. This couldn't be further from the truth. Giving 100% isn't about perfection. It's about effort. It's about bringing your full self to whatever you do, regardless of the outcome. In fact, if you're giving 100%, you're likely to make more mistakes, not fewer. Why? Because you're pushing yourself, trying new things, stepping out of your comfort zone. The key is to view these mistakes not as failures, but as learning opportunities. Each mistake and setback is a chance to gain new knowledge, refine your approach, and grow stronger and more capable. Remember, the Stoics emphasized focusing on what's within our control. We can't control outcomes, but we can control our efforts. When you give 100%, you take full responsibility for the only thing you can control: yourself. Let's delve deeper into how giving 100% can transform various aspects of your life. We've touched on work relationships and personal development, but there's much more to explore. Consider your health and well-being. Many of us have a complicated relationship with our health. We know we should eat better, exercise more, and get enough sleep. But it's easy to make excuses, to put off these important habits for another day. What would it look like to give 100% to your health? It doesn't mean becoming a fitness fanatic or following an extreme diet. It means fully committing to taking care of yourself, day in and day out. It means making conscious choices about what you eat, prioritizing physical activity, and getting enough rest. When you give 100% to your health, you're not just improving your physical condition, you're investing in your future. You're giving yourself the energy and vitality to pursue your other goals. You're building discipline and self-respect that spill over into other areas of your life. The key is that giving 100% to your health doesn't mean never indulging in a treat or beating yourself up if you miss a workout. It means being fully present and intentional in your choices. It means treating your body with respect and care, not out of obligation, but because you value yourself. Now let's talk about creativity and passion projects. Many of us have dreams or hobbies that we never fully pursue. You've always wanted to write a novel, start a podcast, learn to paint, or play an instrument. But these dreams often get pushed to the back burner as we deal with the demands of daily life. Giving 100% to your passions means carving out time and energy for them, even when inconvenient. It means treating your creative pursuit with the same seriousness you bring to your job or other responsibilities. Imagine if you gave 100% to your passion project. Maybe you wake up an hour earlier each day to work on your novel. Maybe you dedicate your weekends to practicing your instrument. It might be challenging at first, but as you fully commit, you'll likely find a sense of fulfillment you've been missing. Remember, giving 100% doesn't mean your creative works must be perfect. It doesn't even mean they must be good, especially at first. What it means is that you're fully engaging in the process, learning, growing, and expressing yourself authentically. Let's shift gears and talk about civic engagement and community involvement. In our busy lives, it's easy to become isolated and focus solely on our concerns. But humans are social creatures, and we thrive when connected to a larger community. Giving 100% to your community might mean volunteering for a cause you care about. It might mean getting involved in local politics or community organizations. It might simply mean being a good neighbor, looking out for others. and contributing to the well-being of your local area. When you give 100% to your community, you're not just helping others. You're expanding your world. You're building connections, gaining new perspectives, and contributing to something larger than yourself. This can bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment. That's hard to find elsewhere. Now let's address a critical point. Giving 100% doesn't mean spreading yourself thin. In fact, it often means the opposite. It means being selective about where you put your energy so you can fully commit to what truly matters. In our modern world, we're bombarded with demands on our time and attention, social media, endless notifications, and the constant pressure to be productive can all leave us feeling scattered and drained. Giving 100% means having the courage to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals so you can say yes to what really matters. This might mean setting boundaries at work, limiting your social media use, or being more selective about your commitment. It might mean disappointing some people in the short term. But by focusing your energy on what's truly important to you, you'll be able to show up more fully in the areas of life that matter most. Let's talk about learning and personal growth. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to learn and adapt is more important than ever. Giving 100% to your personal growth means embracing a mindset of lifelong learning. This doesn't necessarily mean formal education, but it can be part of it. It means being curious, challenging assumptions, and always seeking opportunities to expand your knowledge and skills. When you give 100% to learning, you approach each day as an opportunity to grow. You ask questions, you seek out new experiences. You're not afraid to be a beginner, make mistakes, or look foolish in pursuing knowledge. This attitude can transform your life in profound ways. It keeps your mind sharp and engaged. It opens up new opportunities in your career and personal life. It helps you stay adaptable in a changing world. And perhaps most importantly, it keeps life interesting and exciting. Now let's return to the Stoic philosophy we discussed earlier. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in accordance with a virtue. But what does that mean in practical terms? Giving 100% to living virtuously means striving to embody qualities like wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control in all your actions. It means doing the right thing even when it's difficult. It means being honest even when a lie might be more convenient. It means standing up for what you believe in even when it's unpopular. This isn't about being perfect. We all make mistakes, have moments of weakness, or fall short of our ideals. Giving 100% of virtue means acknowledging these shortcomings and striving to improve. When you commit fully to living with integrity, you build self-respect, you become someone others can count on. You create a solid foundation for all your other endeavors, and you cultivate a deep sense of peace and satisfaction that comes from knowing you're doing your best to live in alignment with your values. Let's talk about resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way. Giving 100% means developing the mental and emotional strength to face these challenges head-on. Resilience isn't about never feeling down or discouraged. It's about how quickly you can bounce back, learn and grow from difficulties. When you give 100% to building resilience, you're investing in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. This might mean developing healthy coping mechanisms for stress. It might mean cultivating a support network you can rely on. In tough times, practicing mindfulness or other techniques to manage your thoughts and emotions. Might mean building resilience also means reframing how you view challenges. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, you can view them as opportunities for growth. This doesn't mean you have to like the difficult situations you face, but by giving 100% to facing them, you can often find the strength and wisdom you didn't know you had. Now let's address a common concern. What if I give 100% and still fail? This fear keeps many people from fully committing to their goals or dreams. The truth is that giving 100% doesn't guarantee success. In the traditional sense, you might not get the job, win the competition, or achieve the goal you set out to accomplish. But here's the thing, when you give 100%, you never truly fail. Why? Because the act of giving your all is a success in itself. When you commit fully to something, you learn, you grow, you become stronger, more resilient, more capable. These benefits remain regardless of the external outcome. Moreover, when you give 100%, you can look back without regret. You did everything in your power. This brings a sense of peace and self-respect that's far more valuable than any external measure of success. Remember, too, that what looks like failure at the moment often turns out to be a stepping stone to something better. Many of the most successful people in various fields experience significant setbacks before achieving their goals. The difference is they kept giving 100%, even when things didn't go as planned. Let's talk about the impact of giving 100% on your self-image and confidence. You start to see yourself differently. When you consistently bring your full effort to your endeavors, you build trust in yourself. You know that no matter your situation, you can count on yourself to show up fully. This self-trust is incredibly powerful. It allows you to take on bigger challenges and step outside your comfort zone. When you know you'll give 100% no matter what, you're more willing to try new things and take calculated risks. Moreover, this attitude is noticeable to others. People are drawn to those who fully engage with life. They respect and trust individuals who consistently give their best effort. This can open up new opportunities in your personal and professional life. Lastly, let's consider the ripple effect of giving 100%. When you commit fully to living this way, you inspire others. Your actions speak louder than words, showing those around you what's possible. When you engage fully with life, think about the people in your life, your family, friends, colleagues, community members. How might your example influence them? By giving 100%, you're not just improving your own life. You're contributing to a culture of engagement, effort, and integrity that can have far-reaching effects. As we near the end of our journey exploring the power of giving 100%, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. We've seen how this principle can transform our lives, from work and relationships to personal growth and community involvement. But the most profound impact of giving 100% is on our inner selves. We develop a deep sense of integrity when consistently bringing our full effort and engagement to life. We align our actions with our values, bridging the gap between who we are and who we aspire to be. This alignment brings a sense of peace and satisfaction that's hard to find elsewhere. It's not about achieving perfection or never making mistakes. It's about knowing you've given your best, regardless of the outcome. This knowledge is a source of strength that can carry you through successes and setbacks. Now, I want to address a question that might be on your mind. Is it really possible to give 100% all the time? The answer is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you can approach each moment with full presence and commitment. No, in the sense that we're human and we all have ups and downs. There will be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. That's okay. Giving 100% doesn't mean being at peak performance every second of every day. It means bringing your full self to whatever state you're in. Giving 100% might sometimes mean recognizing that you need rest or asking for help. Key is to approach each situation with intention and integrity. On your best days, this might mean pushing yourself to new heights. It might mean simply showing up and doing what you can. On your most challenging days, both are valid expressions of giving 100%. Remember, too, that giving 100% is a practice. Like any skill, it gets easier and more natural with time. Don't be discouraged if you find it challenging at first. Each time you choose to engage fully, you're strengthening this ability. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge for the next week. Choose one area of your life to give 100%. It could be your work, a relationship, a personal project, or even just your daily routine. Approach it with full presence and commitment. Notice how it feels. Notice the impact it has on your experience and those around you. You might be surprised at what you discover. You might find new depths of capability within yourself. You might experience a renewed sense of purpose and engagement. You inspire others to bring their full selves to their lives as well. Ultimately, giving 100% is about fully embracing the gift of life, We each have a limited time on this earth. By committing to give our all, we honor that gift. We make the most of each moment, each interaction and each opportunity. This doesn't mean every moment will be easy or pleasant. Life will still have its challenges and sorrows. But by giving 100%, we ensure we're living life to its fullest, squeezing every drop of growth, connection and meaning from our experiences. So as you go forward from here, I encourage you to ask yourself regularly, am I giving 100% to this moment? Not in a way that creates pressure or stress, but as an invitation to fully engage with your life, to be present, to bring your whole self to whatever you're doing. Remember the words we started with, whatever you do it 100%. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a philosophy, a way of life. It's about showing up fully, not just for the big moments, but for all the small, everyday moments that make up the fabric of our lives. By embracing this principle, you're not just improving your own life. You're contributing to a better world. You're setting an example of what's possible. When we fully commit to our values, our goals and each other, you're creating ripples of positive change that can extend far beyond what you can see. So I invite you to take this principle into your life. Give it a try. See how it transforms your experiences, your relationships, and your sense of self. It may not always be easy, but I promise you it's worth it. Because when you give 100%, you're not just doing something, you're becoming someone. You're becoming the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. And in the end, that's what life is all about. Not perfection, not unbroken success, but the ongoing journey of becoming who we truly are and giving that self fully to the world. So go forth, give it your all, and watch your life transform in ways you might never have imagined. Whatever you do it 100%. Your future self will thank you